Let's solve big countries. So we are given with a world table which contains name, continent, area, population, and GDP. So name is the primary key of this table, and each row of this table gives information about the name of the country, the continent to which it belongs to, and the area, then the population and its GDP value. So a country is big if it has an area of at least 3 million or it has a population of 25 million. So we'll have to write a query to fetch the name, population, and area of those big countries. So the sample input is in this way. So we again given with the name of the countries and their continent, their area, their population and GDP. We'll have to fetch all the countries which has the population which has a population greater than 25 million kilometer square. Okay, let's write it up in SQL. So we'll have to select um, name, comma, populations, comma, area from world table where area is greater than or equal to 3 million or population should be greater than or equal to 25 million. Yeah, so this seems a solution for this problem. Let's run it up and check if the solution is accurate. It says wrong answer. Um, Sorry. So this is 25 million, not 35 million. Yeah. So now if I run it, I think it'll come as accepted. Let's submit and see if it accepts the. So let's solve this recyclable and low fat product. So we are given with the products table, which has product ID, low fat, and recyclable. So in this table, product ID is the primary key for this. So we'll have to write a query to find the IDs which are both low fat and recyclable. So which means we'll have to write a where clause where low fat is equal to Y and recyclable is equal to Y. So in this example, so the one which has both low fat is equal to Y and recyclable is equal to Y is equal to is 1 and 3. So we'll have to fetch out product IDs 1 and 3. Fine, let's put it up. So we'll have to select um, product product ID from products where low fats equal to Y and recyclable equal to Y. So yeah, the same solution for this problem. Let's run it up if it's, yeah. So the runtime accepted the solution. Let's submit and see if it accepts the value. Yeah, it accepts this. So this is a solution for this problem. Solve find customer referee. So we are given with a table customer which has ID, name, and referee ID. So ID is a primary key, and each row of this table indicates the ID of a customer, their name, and their ID of the customer who referred them. So we'll have to write a query to report the names of the customer that are not referred by the customer with ID is equal to 2. So we'll have to write a query which fetches all the names which are not referred by the ID number 2. Right. So in this table, we'll have to fetch all the names except except Alex and Mark. So even null should be considered because it is not referred by 2. Right. So let's put it up. We'll have to select the name from customer table where referee underscore ID should not be equal to 2. So this is how you mention not in SQL, and referee ID should can also be null. Yeah, this seems a solution for this problem. See if it accepts. Yeah, it did accept. Let's submit and see if this is a solution for this problem. Yeah, it did accept. So this is a solution for this problem. Now let's solve customer who never ordered problem 183. So we are given with a customers table, which has ID and name. ID is the primary key for this table, and each row of this table indicates ID and the name of the customer. So we are also given with another table called orders, which has ID and customer ID. So in this, ID is a primary key for this table, and customer ID is a foreign key of the ID from the customer table. So in this, each row indicates ID and customer ID. We'll have to fetch all the customer names who have not placed any order. So let's code it up. We'll have to select name as customers because the output says we'll have to get the column name as customers. So we'll alias it as customers, and from the customers table where customers.id not n, we'll put a subclass subquery to find all the customer IDs from orders table, and we'll customers ID from orders table. Yeah, so this seems solution. Let's run and check if it accepts. Run, it did accept, and let's submit the solution and see if it works. Yes, it did accept. So we are given with an employees table, which has employee ID, name, and their salary. Employee ID is the primary key for this table, and each row of this table indicates employee ID, employee name, and salary. We'll have to write a query to calculate the bonus of each employee. The bonus of an employee is 100% of the salary if the ID of their employee is an odd number, and the employee's name does not start with a character M. So we'll have to put a case statement where ID should not be a odd number, and employee name does not start with a character M. The people who have their ID number in an odd number and employee name with not starting with them, they'll get 100% of hike, and rest will get 0% of hike. So the sample query, the sample table is in this way. We'll have to fetch out all the rows which is not which is odd, and the name doesn't start with them. So we'll just try code it up. So we'll have to select employee ID, comma, case when employee ID not equal to 0, then 0. When name is like M and anything after M, then 0, else we'll have the salary itself also, and we'll end this as bonus from employee stable will order by employee underscore. Let's run it up. I say this is I hope this is a solution. It does accept. Let's submit and see if if this solution accepts. Yeah, it did. Swap salary. So we are given with a salary table, um, which has ID, name, sex, and salary. So ID is the primary key for this table, and the sex column is any number type of either male or female. The table contains information about an employee. Okay, so we'll have to write a query to swap all F with M. So that is all the females value should be changed to M and vice versa. With a single update statement, we'll have to use a single update statement, and no intermediate tables are allowed. So note that we'll have to write a single update statement and do not write any select statement for this problem. So we'll have to replace all the M with F and F with M. So yeah, let's put it up. So we'll have to update salary table. Set the column which we need to change equal to. We'll write a case statement inside it. So when equal to F, then we'll change it to M. And the other cases, else casement, we'll just put it F and we'll end it. Yeah, this seems like a solution. We'll just run and check if it accepts. Yeah, it did accept. Let's submit and see if Leetcode accepts the solution. It did. Yeah, so this is a solution for this problem. Let's solve delete duplicate email. So we are given with a person table. So ID is the primary key for this table, and each row of this table contains an email. The email will not contain uppercase letter. Okay, we'll have to write a query to delete all the duplicate emails. We'll have to delete all the duplicate emails which is present in the table, and we'll have to use an email with the smallest ID. And know that you're supposed to write a delete statement and not a select statement. We'll have to write a delete statement and definitely not a select statement. Yes, after running a script, that's fine. So we are given with a table. Example is given with a table. We'll have to fetch only John and Bob in this case. Fine, let's write it up. So so delete delete E2 from person 1, comma person P2, where E1 dot email equal to E2 dot email, and E1 dot ID is less than E2 dot. So this seems like a solution. Let's run it up and check if it accepts. And it did accept. Let's submit and see if this is a solution. Yes, it was a solution and it did accept.